Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we're going to make a beat using stock plugins in FL Studio. We're going to see if we can create a banger using stock plugins. I'm going to show you guys stuff you probably didn't know. So with stock plugins, like for example, Citrus is one of these, along with Toxic Biohazard, GMS, Morphine can do some of these things. So in here, we can load up what are called single cycle waveforms. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with some analog waveforms. You can download these off the internet. Just drag this straight into operator 1. So basically, go to your channel rack right here, hit the plus icon. We're going to find Citrus in you guys' list of plugins. Open up Citrus, go to where it says presets, go to default to reset everything, and then open up your browser, which is this icon right here. We're going to find your folder full of waveforms. If you don't know how to install sounds, just type in FL Studio, sounds import BusyWorks Beats. You'll find it on YouTube. Drag your single cycle waveform into this operator 1 window. So now we can create like Travis Scott analog sounds using single cycle waveforms. Okay, so now we have the power of analog right inside of Citrus. Now you can do this with different plugins. It just depends on the plugin that you prefer. Like if you guys prefer the Harmore interface, you could do the same thing in there. So we're just going to use it here. Also, if you're in a different DAW and you're wondering how to do this, you could grab Serum and do the same exact thing. Just drag this into the window. Serum would be my first option, but again, we're trying to use FL stock stuff. So here you would just load it up in Serum and pick the octave. Now, again, Serum is my ultimate choice because of just the ease of use, but you know, we're using stock stuff. Another plugin people overlook is called SAW. So if you open this up, this has crazy R&B leads. We're going to be using this for R&B leads. So R&B, G-Funk, anything that requires a lead, you're going to get that out of SAW. A very slept on plugin. The next plugin we're probably going to use today is called Morphine. This has really good bass sounds in it. And keyboard sounds as well, but the bass is kind of where this shines. Turn up my headphones. I can barely hear this thing. So just super cool bass. We might even start with the bass because that kind of gives the identity for the track. Let's tap the tempo. That was a pretty cool little bass line. So we're playing D, we're playing the 5th, which is A. And then we're playing a sharp. So we have, and then a sharp tonic note. So it's pretty simple. So it's D, A, D, and then D sharp. So let's do. Let's record something like that. Okay. So now let's go to our SAW and let's load up. You know, the starting leads are really good. Some of the leads at the top are probably the best ones. That one's a little too filter heavy. Another thing I'm going to do for this plugin is go to the pitch range and make sure this is in the right range. So I like to keep it at 2 for leads. For different instruments, I'd probably load that up to 12 or 6. So it depends on the plugin. And the mod wheel, I wish it was easier to link, but I don't think anything in here requires a vibrato. But in classic, like West Coast stuff, they will link the mod wheel to the vibrato. And now to do that in here would be like, you'd have to link it to the amplitude of the LFO, which you have to link that to the pitch. So I would have to right click here, link to controller, move my mod wheel. That's what gives you that like sound. Luckily it's mapped out by default. Let's see if we can come up with like a little idea. Okay, so at the end I messed up there, but kind of like the pitch wobble because it's just a unique sound. So now let's see what else we can add in here. So now we need some kind of keyboard sound. I'm going to load up, I would load up Flex, but that doesn't have always the exact sounds. So I'm either going to go to the Morphine plugin, or I think that's probably the one I'm going to go to, or GMS. So we can load up some custom waveforms. Probably going to do, let's do Citrus actually. Okay, so in Citrus, what we're going to do is go to a new pattern here. Let's go to song mode, link this out. So now we're building upward and stacking sounds. Let's go to Citrus, and in Citrus, if we go to presets, go to default, go to operator 1, we could drag in waveforms off the internet. Basically, again, you get the quality of analog synths with this. Oh, way too loud. And then you could stack different effects. Depends on the plugin you prefer. There's Toxic Biohazard, there's Morphine plugin, Citrus, Harm More. So some plugins might be easier than others to navigate, but Citrus is the easiest to load because you just left click and drag the waveform like that. So it depends on you guys' actual preference here. Let's see what kind of chords or rhythm we can create with that. So let's do this. I think I was just playing D minor and then D suspended second. I'll do something with the pitch wheel. It does help to have a MIDI controller in FL Studio. I will say R&B and like West Coast stuff, a MIDI controller is super important. I have the FL Key 37 by Novation. Highly, highly, highly recommend. It's the perfect size. I don't need a bunch of keys. It's just, it can fit on a desk. Very sturdy. Now we can go to the sound and just swap out different waveforms. Turn up the bass. I turn up my headphones a little bit. Send these sounds to the mixer. Let's hit Control L. I think in the Morphine plugin, I'm always mixing these up. I think there's a keyboard, and then in keyboard, if we go to Crystal EP, I think this one has a pretty decent sound for chords, so we could use that one. Also in Salter, you guys probably didn't know, if you click this image line tab, it loads up like the effects. Nobody told me this for like years. And you could, there's a hidden arpeggio in here. There's, reverb and modulation. Okay, so let's layer the chords. Okay, so I'm not gonna play like crazy chords, just playing D minor. And I'm just gonna use the fifth to color up the bass. Okay, so the bass does clash a little bit on that second note. I might change the E to, might do a D flat instead, or C sounds cool too. The problem here is not the chords necessarily, it's that the first chords, the rhythmic chords, are in the same octave and they're fighting for space. So let's pull them up an octave. Plus the sound is very smooth and we're playing dark chords. So let's see if we can get a different keyboard tone. Turn that down. Now we're just sound designing with the sound. Need something for this beat to like stand out from the beat. So either an exaggerate, like either drums or some sound that has a heavy transient. Now the cool thing is in Flex, we have guitars, so let's load up Flex. Let's go to Essential Guitars. You will find this under the free tab. If you download the Essential Guitars, go to free, download those, go to Packs, Essential Guitars. And we have a lot of stuff like muted strats and nylon guitars. Now it's not the greatest sample in the world, but I mean, it's free. Let's turn these off. And now we have a muted guitar, which is very West Coast sound. So I'm just gonna add the chord do trailing harmonies. Do 1, 2, 3. Let's record that passage and we'll fix the notes. Hit something at the end. Let's hit Alt Q. Actually, let's not hit Alt Q. Sometimes if you quantize, it messes up your notes. Okay, so now we need some drums. So the beat's kind of just doing its own thing. So now we need drums. Let's also go to the bass and swap out the bass sound and see if we can get a more aggressive tone. Let's also change out this. record these synth lines because now I'm going to do more in between notes because now I have a better idea of where this beat is. Now we're going to add the lead on top. Let's record notes on automation. Do something like that. I was wondering what that sound was. So I think because I recorded information on the mod wheel on pattern 1, I'm gonna have to move that, I think, to a different pattern because that mod wheel is still active. Let's record now. Got messed up because I was thinking too much. This feels more West Coast. So it's all about that MIDI controller at this point. Okay, so let's turn this down. It's super loud. Make sure these notes overlap a little bit. Still need some kind of like chords. So let's see what we could do with either FL keys or flex. Let's go to flex. Let's go to essential pianos and let's try. We need a piano that can really hit the low notes. Now, these may not have the aggression we need on the samples, but let's see. Kind of sounds like it, but it's hard to tell. And let's just record the octaves. So I'm just playing octaves of D and then D sharp. Sounds full. Dun, 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 dun. This piano sounds cool, but it's like it has a weird release time. So I'm gonna try to add a little release to it. So when I play the notes, it just kind of stops. There we go. That sounds more realistic. Now here we need more music, so we got to figure out what we're gonna fill in the gaps with. Let's try the inverted notes here. We're gonna do the Dr. Dre classic type thing. So right here, we're just playing, instead of DFA, we're playing ADF. Pulling that fifth down. So it's kind of hard to play that like perfectly in time. So we're gonna have to just manually start lining stuff up. And again, it's not the perfect piano sample. Now it would be better if this had more release. So let's clone this. We're gonna copy the notes, paste the notes, Control X, Control V. And all we wanna do is up the release so it has more of a tail. Okay, we're gonna delay the notes a little bit just so they don't sound out of time. And again, at this point, it's not the sound, it's the velocity of FL Studio. If you played this on a real 88 weighted key, you wouldn't get this much like jumpiness in the velocity. It's just FL plugins are very jumpy. I would have to load up a bunch of stuff to make it less jumpy, and I don't have time for that. So what we might do, let me think. What we might do is, let me see if a fade will work. This might make it sound better. So I'm just right clicking the velocity to create a fade here so that the 3 notes kind of glide upward. Now we just got to fix the timing, which I can quantize by hitting Alt Q, and then the start time we want to quantize. Now, here's where we're gonna have to override our playing style, but it is what it is. You can also pull back the start time. So, until you get that perfect like lineup where it's not too quantized. But there's parts where it's rushed, and the simple way, if you want to make it sound human, is highlight the rushed areas. Like right here is all rushed. We're gonna hit Alt and just left click and slide it to line up to the grid. Again, not the greatest timing, and we just don't have time to replay everything. I'm also going to quantize the guitar mutes because they need to be more in the pocket. Also, we're going to go to the mute strat. Let's go to the settings, turn up time shift. It's going to delay that muted guitar in the pocket so it's not so on the grid. Now the lead here is clashing with this melody. So we don't need that per se. But we do need something to fill up that space. Again, these samples on the piano, I'm giving you guys a realistic like outlook. These samples aren't even sampled long enough because I'm hitting my sustain pedal. The sound's dying out. That means that it's not sampled very heavily. A real piano, you could hold that sustain forever, pretty much. But that one is very weak. So that's a sample problem. It's not a plugin problem. It's just the samples aren't that deep. So you got to know your limitations is my point. Still need something to make it like have like a thing. It could be a vocal, it could be a sample, but we don't have samples here. I forget what I used last time, but we had some kind of synth string, and I think we used Flex actually. So in Flex, there's also essentials packs for strings. Go to the free tab to download these. Go to packs, we're under strings, and let's pull in the ensemble essential. I think I use sustain, and we're gonna play really high pitched strings and just hold one note. This could be a root note, it could be whatever. So we're playing really high frequencies. Let's pull this down. I'm going to use my pitch wheel to bend the pitch every now and again. So let's record this. It's playing A. Okay, so that way the pitch is moving, but without dramatically doing a bunch of stuff. And that fills in a lot of that gap. So what I might do to make this structured more is to start on the dark piano. So now we need to start finding some drums. These drums you can find in our Discords, Lunch77, also online. Bunch of drum kits out on the internet. You guys just got to look at like Reddit kits and stuff. But basically, there's a Battle Cat kit that has a lot of West Coast sounds. I want to use that one, but you will get the project file, so don't try to memorize all this. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Let me find some drums. We're gonna add this on the 2 and the 4. Add this in. The Control B to latch paste. This, like the snares timing is very delayed, so you gotta delay saw a little bit. Might do something else with that piano, that dark piano. Fill in these gaps. Let's see what we can do here. All right, so I'm going to record another section here. Let's record this. Playing G. And then D sharp. Like this first note isn't okay, so it's off the grid a little bit. It's quantized. I was just trying to fill in space using timing and sound effects. Another tool is using your time shift. Now that we have all the drums locked in, this time shift is good for like more of a 90s sound. All right, so that guitar mute is a little, gotta get the guitar mute in time here. what I'll do is go to the plugin settings here with the cog icon, go to the plugin settings and turn off the swing for it. For certain elements, I want the movement of the swing, but for others, I don't if I record it by hand. So now we just need bass and more harmony. So here's where we're gonna bring in the bass. Sawyer is really good for bass, West Coast. Good at the bass. That sounds really good. So again, you got to perform this with your MIDI controller to get the best sound out of it. In my opinion, the pitch wheel is the key. So it could be better timed, but let's hear it. That timing, I messed up. We gotta fix that timing. Okay, so now we just need the chords to wrap around it. Maybe another lead. Trying to think which sound we can play with chords on. Let's see if we can find a guitar maybe. I feel like the mute guitar is way too early. Let's take off the effects on the guitar. Let's add that guitar. That adds some character. So luckily this guitar has some articulation that's unique. the end I messed up, but whatever. So I'm delaying the kicks and the snares to fit in the pocket to match the first snare. Let's add some open hi-hats. Now we're just adding filler percussion here. So it goes boom, rah. May or may not add more harmony to this beat. Let's see. We get got to fix the velocities on these notes. Again, image line plugins have very harsh velocity sensitivity by default. You see they're very jumpy. It's going to hit shift, left click. Now I'm in beta, the FL Studio beta, so the velocities are effing up right now. So I'm just going to left click. Like the guitar mutes keep getting pushed back. Forgot we're going to copy those notes. Pattern 21. We're going to go to, I think Morphine is the plugin with it in there. There's a vocal patch or violin, one of the two. Let's go to either strings. I think it's the violin, but let's copy the piano roll. And I think this is the one. Let me see. So we have to go to the plugin, go to the settings, make sure it's on monophonic. It's either that one or this preset here. There we go. Okay, so let's add that in to layer it. So what happened with the strings is basically the pitch doesn't know where to be with the strings, as I cut off the clip. The bass carries this track. Makes this track just a little. You guys will get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio to download these for free. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video. Peace.